Hello, everyone. My name is Callie Teagard. I am the Senior Field Advisor here at Promptings. I'm so excited that you are here on this webinar tonight to learn more about Promptings. I have to tell you, this company literally has changed my life. When I found it, I was looking for a simple way to stay in touch with my clients, to be able to send birthday, thank you, and holiday cards out to those clients. And when I found this system, I knew it was the answer to my prayers. It was a fantastic way for me to connect with the people in my life. What I didn't realize, it was also going to allow me to connect with my purpose and put me on a pathway to my prosperity. But before I go there, before I get way ahead of myself, I want to bring on our founder, Mr. Cody Bateman, right? He's the founder and chief visionary officer of Promptings. And I want him to explain to you why he started Promptings and the best way to act on your promptings. So Cody, if you want to take it from here.
Hi, everybody. My name is Cody Bateman. I'm the founder of the Promptings movement. Appreciate you being with us tonight. I want to share with you a couple of stories. One is how this whole thing started in the first place and what our mission is and what we plan to do to change this world of ours by helping millions of people act on their promptings. We hope that you're one of them. So it all started back in 1989. I accepted a job offer. I just graduated from college and accepted a job offer to work for an ad agency in New York City. So when we accepted that job, we packed up all of our belongings. I was newly married at the time, had a little baby girl. We packed up all of our belongings, put it in a U-Haul truck. We were driving this little car of ours in front of the U-Haul truck. And we went over to my mom and dad's house to say bye to the family. So we said our goodbyes. And I remember coming out in the front of my parents' home, and we got into the car and we put little baby Whitney in her car seat, and Jody got into the passenger side, and I went to get into the car. And as I went to get in, I looked over in a lot adjacent to my parents' home. My older brother, Chris, was moving some vehicles around in this lot. And at that moment, I had what I call a prompting, an intuitive thought that I needed to stop what I was doing, go over to my brother, give him a hug, tell him I love him, and say goodbye. That was the prompting. And we were in a hurry. There were people waiting for us. There was another couple that was moving with us that was driving the U-Haul truck. And we all needed to leave. And so what do you think happened? I ignored the prompting. I remember getting in the car and driving away, and I honked and waved at my brother as we drove off, and he waved back at me. I'll never forget the look on his face. And we drove away. We drove all the way across the country, moved into our new home in New York City area. And a couple of months went by and everything was going well until one night I got a phone call about 2 o'clock in the morning. And my mother was on the other end of that line, and she tearfully let me know that my brother Chris had just been killed in an accident. Now, that was devastating news. In fact, I remember when I got that news, the first thing I thought of is that I had this prompting that I needed to say bye to him, and I ignored it. So at that very moment, I made a promise to my brother Chris, to myself and to my brother Chris. I said to him, I said, I'm sorry, brother, that I ignored that prompting. And I promise you that when I have promptings to reach out in kindness to others, I will act. And I'll do all I can to help as many people as I can do the same thing. That was in 1989. Excuse me. That's when this whole thing started. That was the dream that was put into my mind at that moment. And everything I did from that day forward was to figure out how to deliver the promise. I needed to act on my promptings. I needed to help other people act on their promptings. Now, keep in mind, this is a long time ago. This is in 1989. It was even pre-internet days. We didn't even have the internet back then. So the concept and idea that I had was I had to find a way to help people act on their promptings. And I knew that for myself, the way for me to express myself, my appreciation, my kindness to others, it was a lot easier for me to write those things. Like if I wrote somebody a message in a card, it was a lot easier for me to express myself in a card than it was verbally. So I figured early on that whatever I did, it was going to have something to do with greeting cards, because a greeting card was a simple way for me to act on a prompting. If I had a prompting to say thank you to somebody, I could quickly send them a card with the words of kindness in them. So I started doing all kinds of things pre-internet days to try to figure out how to do that. You can't even imagine the things that we tried to do, but this thing called the internet came along. And when the internet came along and I saw the possibilities of the internet, the light bulb went on that, man, if there was a way that you could send a real greeting card over the internet. So if I could call up the internet and pick a card and type in a message and click it, and somehow it went over the internet to a printer and the printer would print it and send it for me, man, that would be cool. So we went on a long journey to try to figure out how to do that. We actually pioneered the technology that calls for through the internet for variable print on demand on printers. Nobody had done that before us. And we did that back in 2001 and 2001 and 2. So we finally had created what I call a mechanism. We created a mechanism to help people act on their promptings. And what it was is the mechanism allowed me as a person to go onto the internet, onto the mechanism, and choose a greeting card and be able to type a message into the greeting card and then put in an address for that person and push the send button. And then over the internet, it would go to our printers. We would stuff it, stamp it, and mail it out for you. And we started doing this way back in 2002 was when we first started doing this over the internet. Nobody had done it before. So it was a powerful mechanism. In fact, once we had the mechanism to do this, I wanted to start changing my habits and other people's habits. The habit I wanted to create was I sent cards to people every single day. So one of the habits that I had was is that the first person I thought of, I would send a card to. And I'm going to share a story about this card right here. So I got up one morning and my habit was first person that comes to mind. The first person that came to mind that day was a lady by the name of Pat Chase. She does the music at the church I went to. So I went to my mechanism that we had created. We had about, I don't know, maybe 100 saved greeting cards in there. And this was one of them. And it says beauty on the front. So I picked this card. It says beauty on the front. And inside it said things are beautiful if you love them. So I want you to watch the words that I wrote in this card to Pat Chase, who does the music at the church. So right from my computer over the internet, I typed these words. I said, Pat, just a quick note to let you know, I appreciate what you do for us at the church. You make music beautiful, and I'm a better person for it. Your friend, Cody. That's simple. And I clicked the send button and sent it off to her. Now, I want to explain to you what happened when she received the card. A couple of weeks went by and I show up at church and she comes up to me and says, Cody, first of all, I want to thank you for this card you sent me. And I want to tell you what happened the day I received it. She says, I got up in the morning and I went into the front room of my house. I was going to pick up the receiver of the telephone my intent was to call the leader of the church to let him know that I was no longer going to do the music at the church. She said, I don't remember a time when somebody thanked me for the service I provided. The only thing I got were complaints as to why I didn't play this music or that music. She says, and I was really frustrated. And so I was about to quit. She said, but something told me to go get the mail first. Now we know that that's called a prompting. She was prompted to go get the mail first. So she did. She hung up the receiver of the phone, did not make the phone call. She went out to her mailbox. The only piece of mail on a Thursday morning was this card. She opened up the envelope from her mailbox, read this card that you're looking at. She says, Cody, I want you to know that I was at my mailbox and I openly wept, she said. And I want you to know that when I went back in the house, I did not place the phone call. And I'm not going to place the phone call. I will keep doing the music of the church, and I will never, ever, ever forget you for how you made me feel with that card. Thank you very much. That's the power of acting on promptings. Now, we've come a long ways since then. Our job now is to help millions of people act on their promptings every single day. A big thing that we tell people is to send heartfelt messages of kindness, just like the story I just shared with you. We have thousands of people all over the world that are doing this. They're sending heartfelt messages of kindness to people. Now, you don't think that can change the world? It's changing the world. Millions of promptings have been acted upon, and we're just barely getting started. But here's the beauty of it. When you send these messages of kindness, there's amazing positive energy that comes back to you, the sender. And when that energy comes back to you, the sender, it really taps into who you are and what you're meant to do as a person. It's an amazing feeling to have. All you got to do is send kindness to people every day. It creates appreciation energy, and you begin to appreciate who you are as a human being. So we ended up creating a mechanism that really connects you with two key things. And we call that the promptings process. And the promptings process allows you to connect with people on the right side of the screen and with purpose on the left side of the screen. And that's what this is. So when you send out kindness to others, you're connecting with people all the time. You know, we've become the best relationship marketing tool in the world today because of this. Because a lot of businesses use us to follow up with their clients or customers. But what we teach is to send heartfelt messages to them. There's system cards that will do it automatically too. But the best way to create genuine human connection is these heartfelt messages. So over the years, we became the best relationship marketing tool on the planet because we had a way for you to act on promptings and appreciate people that you did business with. So that's just one example of how this promptings process connects you with people. But guess what? It also connects you with purpose, because that energy is coming back to you as a person. It ignites your inner voice that tells you who you are as a person, that connects you with your purpose. Okay, it brings up that whole new energy of who you are as a person. And we have since created all kinds of tools and different things to help you to nourish that inner voice, to nourish those inner promptings. Some of the best personal development programs on the market today come from promptings, because we have ways to teach you to use this process, this mechanism, to initiate positive law of attraction principles in your life. It's an amazing thing. So if you utilize this, if you use the mechanism to reach out to others, you can use the same mechanism to reach to yourself. What it does is creates a pathway to prosperity for you. That's where we've come. We started it just to send cards to people, but it ended up being what you have on this screen today. Now, I'm going to turn the time back to our host. We have numerous people that are going to share their stories with you tonight of how the mechanism and how the process has transformed their life. Thank you for spending the time with me tonight, and you're in good hands with our host and with some amazing people that act on their promptings every day. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Cody. So glad you were here to share with us tonight. I was one of those people that was just looking for a simple way to connect with people. And I really just wanted those like system cards, that relationship marketing tool. That's what I was looking for. I had no idea what the heartfelt prompting cards, right? Those unique cards going to individual people, what that was going to do for my relationships and for my life, for the connections I was going to build through this system. The heartfelt cards are truly, truly powerful. And I want to bring on our first guest tonight. But before I do, I actually want to share a little bit more with you right from our Promptings website. When we're done here, the person who invited you on is going to take you to their website. They can send you their link. But, you know, here at Promptings, right, it's all about appreciating others and attracting prosperity. As Cody said, promptings are those intuitive thoughts that call on you to take positive actions, and your promptings will create genuine human connection and guide you to your personal genius, right? It's that thought that says, I should do this. I should reach out to this person. I should tell my customer, my client, thank you. I should reach out to my prospect. I need to call my mom. all those are promptings. And the best way to act on your promptings is with our promptings mechanism. As Cody said, sometimes when you need to tell someone how you really feel or you want to appreciate them, it's a lot of times easier in the written word. And our system is amazing for that. Our promptings mechanism, powered by send out cards, this system is designed specifically to allow you to create the process to connect you with people, passion, and purpose. And speaking of passion, I want to now bring on our first guest. She is full of passion. I met Karen McCallum just over a year ago in Seattle, Washington. We met at an event, just loved her energy. Her and her husband, Chris, are absolutely amazing. So I'm really excited for you to meet Karen tonight and hear her stories. She's coming live from Canada. I know you're just south of Calgary and Alberta, Canada. So Karen, thanks so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm very happy to be here, and I can't wait to share how I'm using send out cards and how it's impacted so many people that I've sent cards to.
Awesome. Well, let's get started. I'm just going to go off screen and let you take it away.
Awesome. Okay. I'm just waiting for there we go. Okay. So this particular card was one that I really wanted to share with everyone. This was actually a sympathy card, and it really touched their hearts. From going to the funeral, this picture on the front of the card was a picture of Eeyore and Pat when it was their very first date. And then the picture in the middle was the last picture of them ever taken together. This couple, it truly was, at the eulogy, they spoke, the words were spoken, they truly had a poetic love story because they died within a week of each other. And they weren't going to go home without the other. So I took the words from the eulogy and put it on the front of the card and sent it to my sister-in-law and brother-in-law with this. And as soon as they got the card, they phoned me right away, and they said they got all kinds of flowers and all kinds of condolences. But this card was what really touched their hearts. So they now have it framed and they want me to get copies of it for their children. So that one was really good. And the next one. Now, as Callie said, Chris and I live in Alberta, but our two granddaughters, our two and only grandchildren, live 9 hours away in Saskatchewan. So anytime I get the chance, I send them a card, and they carry them around. They take them to bed with them. They are constantly looking at these cards. So this was a card I sent to them at Christmas time. And the beautiful part about, like, a picture speaks 1,000 words. And so the beautiful part about these cards, they're not drugstore cards. You can make them personal. And so I put their picture on the front, but on the back, you notice a QR code. So on the back, and if any of you have grandchildren, ours are 5 and 3, and they know how to work a QR code already. They scan that code, and up comes a little video of my husband Chris and I with a little message from Grandma and Grandpa. So we just said, we're going to miss you at Christmas, but hope you have a wonderful Christmas. And then we read them a story about Rudolph and whatnot. So this one, they phone us the minute they get it, and they're always looking for the next card. So this is just a great way to stay in touch with them, and they keep them. They keep them all the time. So now I send 2 of them because they fight over them. So I have to send them each a card now and each a message because they're so important to them. And finally, every year, my husband Chris and I host a Christmas party, and I'm always writing them out or writing the addresses on, putting the stamps on, going to the mailbox. But when send out cards came along, I thought, hallelujah. Oh my goodness. This was absolutely amazing because it's a systems card and I can still make it heartfelt. So I put a picture on it on there. I was one of our Christmas parties previously where we dressed up and sent these cards out and just did it through the internet and push send. And these were a hit. I think the attendance at our Christmas party that year was the highest it ever was because they got this personal card. And it's funny, when I go to visit friends of ours, this card is still sitting on their fridge. And this was a year ago. So I love it. I love it.
I love those stories that you just shared with us, Karen, right? The heartfelt cards, being able to send that to your family members on the passing. I do a lot of sympathy cards. I know when my mom passed away, all the sympathy cards I got in the mail and how they truly touched me, right? Those, especially the ones with the pictures. Truly amazing. And then I love what you're doing with your granddaughters. They're so fun. And now that you have to send two so they don't fight over it. And then,
use your own words. That's what I like.
yeah.
I use my own words. I'm not using words that I buy from a drugstore. That's what I love. So it truly is heartfelt.
Yeah. And then, you have I know you send many cards a week with our heartfelt prompting card. You're also taking advantage of the system cards, being able to create that invite with that message. I love the photo on that. So thank you so much for coming on and taking time this evening to share with everyone some of your card stories and how you're using promptings in the send out card system.
I have so many more to share. I would love to be on here for an hour.
Okay. Love that. Bye, Karen. Our next guest, you guys, is Donna Sylvester. I have known Donna, I don't even know how many years now. When I originally met her, she was in Colorado. She is now on the state line of Oregon and Washington, enjoying life, living very close to the beach, which I have to say I am jealous of. And I know you have much cooler temperatures up there than we are having in Texas. You are an author. You are retired from the military. Donna, I know you fell in love with this system, and you're going to share with everyone a few of your card examples, including that very first card you ever sent on our system. So I'm going to pull up your cards and let you take it away.
Well, first, thanks so much for inviting me to be here, Callie. It's always fun to talk about cards. And you're right, I did fall in love with them. The very first card I ever sent was in December of 2010. I had been overseeing the care of this lady for 3 years. She was in a residential assisted living home, and she died in early December. And I had the intuitive thought to take the envelopes that were at her bedside from people who had sent her cards throughout the 3 years she was there. I didn't know any of them, but I put those 42 addresses into my send out card system, which was brand new. They were my first 42 addresses. And I created a card. That was the last picture that we ever had of her before she died. And I created this card that kind of told her friends, who were also in their 90s, what had been happening with her, and told them that we weren't going to do a memorial at her request, and told them that if they wanted to donate, there were a couple of causes that she really loved, and that they could certainly contribute to her caregivers if they'd like. And I was astounded at the impact of this card. These 90-year-old people, I got almost 100% response, and many of them were very shaky handwritten notes. And they said things like, I wondered why I hadn't been hearing from Norma over those last couple of years. And it generated $500 for her caregivers. So I immediately had a strong sense of how I could take and put a meaningful message in a card and impact the people that received that card. So I loved it. I loved it right away. The next card I want to send had a completely different prompting. I was in church one Sunday, and they were honoring the practitioners who spend time in the healing services and prayer services of the church. And when I looked at the program, I saw the names of 2 or 3 friends on that list. And my thought was, I really wanted to say thank you to them for the service that they provide, for the prayerful intentions that they have around their practitioner role. So I found an image on the internet, this healing image on the front of the card. I put a picture of the program inside the card, and I sent it to my friend Sylvia. Well, I had no idea, but Sylvia called me the minute she got the card to say I was not at the service and I was really wondering how I was going to get a copy of the program. That moment was just one of many that have occurred now over these more recent years, when you realize the uncanny ability these cards have to arrive at the absolute perfect time to the perfect person in the perfect way. I had no idea that card would be so meaningful to her. So the last card I want to share is one of the more fun things that I do with send out cards. And that is, I use big cards to celebrate people in what I call a memory card. And so I watch Facebook for people who are having babies, grandbabies, weddings, graduations, celebrations, various things in their family, my own family events, or even a funeral. And if I see anywhere from 10 to 12 pictures that I can use, I'll create a big card to help that person remember all of the experiences and the people they interacted with. So this is my friend Peg, who spent a month in Australia. And I took and put those pictures on a card for her, sent it to her. And to this day, this was about 3 or 4 years ago, to this day, she has this card on her kitchen counter, and she looks at it to remember the people that she really enjoyed in Australia. So I just think these cards are a great way to make yourself memorable to the people that you're sending them to. And being memorable is way more than being top of mind. So thanks for letting me share that, Callie.
I love that. And I know with one of those cards you sent, the second one, the lady reached out and became a customer, right? So it's memorable. People do business with people that know, like, and trust. And no matter what business you are in, right? If people don't like you, they don't trust you, they don't remember you, they're not going to do business with you. And this is an amazing system to help you build that know, like, and trust and stay top of mind, right? And be memorable. And we can be top of mind by sending things about us, right? Like most people do, but where we become memorable is where we focus on them and making it all about them. And love those cards that you shared.
Thanks so much, Callie.
Thanks, Donna. So you guys, this system truly is an amazing system to be able to help you connect with people. Before we got on here tonight, I was able to go in and send 2 birthday cards, one to a friend, one of my best friends, her husband, that's birthday is coming up, one to my niece. I've been reaching out to clients, sent a thank you out to one of my clients for going above and beyond and just being a great human being. This system, what I thought was just going to be a business system for me, turned out into be a connection system, both personally and professionally. And by experiencing that, sending the cards, attending events that I'm going to talk about that we have in tickets to in our Promptings process package, it also helped me connect with my purpose and make me the person I am today. So just looking for an easy way to stay in touch. I had no idea how much this system was going to impact my life. So I want to take you guys back to our promptings.com website. Again, if you, when we're done here, you're watching this, you're a guest, please get back with the person who invited you here. Each of our affiliates have their own website coded just to them. So they can send you a link, they can take you there. But you guys, there are multiple ways to get started here with Promptings. One of our brand new products, I really love this. If you want to test drive this, right? We have the Promptings Mechanism 10 card challenge. This allows you to send 10 heartfelt cards, stamps included, for $20, and you have 20 days to do it, right? It's a great way to try something and experience this, because you know what? When you send those 10 cards, you're changing 10 cards, but you're changing an 11th life as well, which is your own. So great way to experience, simple way to get started. See if you love this system as much as we do. If you've already, experienced it, you're like, I'm in. We have our promptings mechanism, heartfelt prompting cards. You can learn more about that. We have 2 monthly subscriptions. Our $37 a month gives you 20 heartfelt cards with stamps included anywhere in the world, and also gives you a 20% discount on our gifts. We have an amazing gift catalog as well that you can attach to your card. We also have our $97 a month unlimited heartfelt prompting cards. So those are those unique cards sent to one person. That very first card that Karen showed, right, that she sent out to her family members about the loss of the parents, right? Heartfelt card. If you send 1, 3, 5, 7, 10 of those a day, right, they're included. Stamps as well. You get 30% discount on gifts. You get a discount on your system cards as well. We do have card packages available under our other options, but you guys, my favorite package is that Promptings Process package. That package has an over $1,500 value, and it's a $497 one-time fee. Plus, you can continue on our 97 unlimited with that. With that package, you get your first month of those unlimited cards. You get 100 system cards, right? We talked a lot about system cards. That's a card going out to multiple people. You create once. It gives you your first 100 in there. It gives you a virtual assistant to help you for 2 hours to get everything loaded into your system, build some cards for you. Amazing part of that. It gives you our tickets to our prompting seminar. You get 1 for you and 2 more for 2 people that you can bring along with you. You get 3 tickets for every prompting seminar we are having this year. You also get our relationship marketing online course, amazing training on using this system in relationship marketing. That's what I wanted when I started looking for this. And you also get a coach to help get you started. So I want you to, I know you probably have questions. I want you to get back with that person who invited you onto this webinar. I want you to get your questions answered. I want you to ask them for their prompting site. We would love for you to get started with us today. We really do have an option for everyone. And I also want you guys to know, here at Promptings, we believe in live it, teach it, share it. We do have an opportunity. The person that invited you on here is an affiliate with us. You can be a customer, or if you're interested, you could be an affiliate with us and even a coach. So if you have questions on that, again, get back with the person who invited you onto this webinar. Get your questions started and get started today. Pick the option best for you, as we would love for you to join us here at Promptings. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night. We will be back here next week. If you know someone who would love to learn about promptings, we will be back next week this same time. So thank you, everyone. Good night. And let me be the very first person to welcome you to Promptings. Bye, everyone.